Hare Krishna. So yesterday we saw Arjuna's hunger for learning. We had one slide left from yesterday. And a very interesting story. After the death of Ghatotkacha, because Ghatotkacha was a Rakshasa by nature, but he had a soft corner because of relationship with the Pandavas. He was not fighting for Dharma, but he was fighting for Pandavas. So naturally he had the power where we hear in the night time the Rakshasas become very powerful. So the battle continued. Even after his death, the battle continued for a long time. And because the battle continued till the night, next morning also, it is but natural that everybody was exhausted and tired. So Arjuna was able to see this. He was sensitive. In the battlefield, generally it is said that a soldier, because of Rajoguna, loses his sensitivity. Those who oppose the concept of Kshatriyatva, they say any kind of violence is bad. Therefore, there should be no weapons. In fact, some so-called pacifist, they say, just see, the Sanatan Dharma, all the Devi Devatas have weapons in their hand. In the Navaratri, Durga Devi, right, she looks fierce. Except Lord Brahma and Lakshmi. Right, Lakshmi has, and of course Saraswati. Everybody has weapon. So it is condemned. Those who propose great non-violence also. But if you actually talk to a real soldier who understands what is Kshatriyatva, they have a great sensitivity also. Kshatriyas, the true Kshatriyas, they know the art of killing if there is a need, and they also know the art of saving people at the cost of giving up their own life also. The armchair philosophers who propose non-violence, they can never understand this. If you study those liberals, they don't mind slaughtering the babies in the womb. You never hear them talk about it. Almost all the time the liberals, those who oppose the war, they're always pro-choice. They are never pro-life. It's very interesting. But if you actually talk to a real soldier on the battlefield, they're very sensitive also. They are not taking life because they love taking life. After the 370, whatever happened, somebody sent me a letter of an army officer who is actually there in Kashmir. Everybody else, those who are not there, they are kind of celebrating as if, to make over what India lost in the semi-finals. It's a celebration. No, he said it's a very sobering thing. We are here to give confidence to the locals. To tell them we are your family members only. We are here to contribute. We are here to help you grow. So therefore Arjuna, when he saw the soldiers from his side and other side, Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita first chapter, Arjuna's qualification to hear Bhagavad Gita was not only inquisitiveness. Inquisitiveness without compassion is again superficial. Arjuna was compassionate to his own people anyway, therefore he was avoiding the war. But now seeing the soldiers from other side, he also became compassionate. अपने शत्रुओं के प्रति दया की भावना Dikana, it's a Vaishnava, it's a sensitive personality. One of the nice stories, so Arjuna immediately declared in that battlefield of Kurukshetra, let us stop fighting now. Everyone is so tired and exhausted. Wherever you are, just see how much Nidra is so important. The modern world has actually destroyed the whole concept of healthy sleep. In the name of progress, in the name of achievement. If you see most students who study for their exam preparation, when they are preparing for their exam, till their exams are over, they are obese. They get 95, 97, 98, but there is a hyperacidity, there is obesity, hypertension. Why? Because we abuse the concept of sleep and wakefulness. Therefore, Krishna defines yogi very simplistically in the Bhagavad Gita, yukta hara, yukta vihara, yukta chesta sukarmasu. Wakefulness, sleeping, eating, recreation. If you are able to balance, that means you are a yogi. The definition of yogi is very simple. So when Arjuna ordered that, at least this one, Duryodhan agreed upon. There was no contradiction in regards to sleep. He didn't say, I don't follow you because you are Arjun. So everybody, Mahabharata explains very beautifully. Can you imagine experiencing peace on the battlefield? यानी कि कितने बड़े योगी थे योद्धा लोग. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in the midst of the entire army, Vyasadeva, one of the greatest storyteller, he says, wherever the soldiers were, some soldiers were on the back of the elephant. They went to sleep on the elephant only. Some were on the horseback. सो गए उधर ही घोड़े पे. The chariot driver, Rati and Sarthi both went to sleep on their chariot. The infantry soldiers, those who were, fighting, foot soldiers, in the midst of that war-torn zone, they went to sleep. And there was a cool breeze flowing over them. They were able to find coherency in chaotic condition. आजकल लोगों को, even if everything is so good, still they can't sleep because they are not able to harmonize between peace and violence. Therefore, they propose the extreme one. It's one of the most interesting part of the Mahabharata. And when they all woke up, they blessed Arjuna so much for what he did for them. They were blessing. देखो निद्रा देने के कारण, we can understand the story of Muchkund. When Kalayavan disturbed his sleep, by opening his eyes, he could burn Kalayavan to ashes. So many people curse because of loud music, disturbance in the family. You want to sleep, others don't want to sleep. If those who are disturbed in their sleep, if they were Muchkunda, you can imagine what would happen. Because people are disturbed in sleep. So Arjuna's Gudakesh, the quality of Gudakesh, he could control sleep. निद्रा के पर थे, ऐसे नहीं कि नहीं सोते थे. But Arjuna was good. He had the capacity like a dog. Chanakya Pandit says, what we should learn from a dog? We should learn alertness from dog. Dog is satisfied with quality sleep, which is sleeps very less. And if somebody comes, immediately dogs gets up. Not because it is disturbed, because it is alert. वहाँ सतर्कता होती है. He says, we can learn from the dog. So Arjuna was extremely alert. He could sleep very less and then keep doing everything what he was doing. So therefore, to be sensitive to others about lack of sleep on the battlefield, what a great manager, great leader. Because he also understood Vidya. What does it do? Vidya actually makes you extremely real. If you are half learned, then you experience or you start speaking about fantastic ideas which are not real. Those who are really educated, they are extremely real. They talk real in regards to life. They don't say, if you are working for Krishna, it's okay if you don't sleep. If you are working for Krishna, it's okay if you don't eat. If you are working for Krishna, it's okay if you don't maintain your health. They don't speak this language. Because Krishna does not speak that language. He is speaking to Arjuna, the greatest of the devotee. He is not talking him to defy the nature's law. Rather, one of the quality of a devotee is to respect the nature's law. And Arjuna was able to do that. Now, सोचो कि युद्ध भूमि पर निद्रा करना कितने बड़े योगी है. हाँ, हमारे लोकल ट्रेन में लोग करते हैं, खड़े खड़े सो जाते हैं. They're able to do that. So some glimpse of what Arjuna was able to do for all the warriors on the battle. And why this happened? Because of sensitivity. विद्या के साथ में विजडम आ जाती है. विजडम के साथ में राइट परसेप्शन आ जाता है, दृष्टिकोण. और राइट परसेप्शन के कारण राइट इंटरेक्शन आ जाता है. यू आर एबल टू इंटरेक्ट राइटली. This is one of the great quality of Arjuna as a learner, as a student and a devotee of Krishna, became very sensitive. So, because Arjuna had such a quality, as we discussed in our first session, Arjuna was fascinating to Krishna. We say, right, Radharani, she is Madan, Mohana, Mohini. Krishna is Madana, Mohana. And Madan is the one who attracts everybody with his flowery arrows. So Krishna is the one who churns the heart of the Manmata. Manmata, Manmataha. Gopis glorify Krishna as the one who actually churns the heart of the Manmat. And then Radharani is one, Bhakti is one, which actually attracts the heart of Krishna. Krishna is all attractive, but Bhakti attracts Krishna, and Arjuna is the symbol of that typical devotee. Amicable, flexible. As we were discussing yesterday, when someone practices spirituality, we expect them to be completely perfect. Another wrong understanding of yoga practice. Paripurnata hum chahte hain. As much they are in a higher position, we have a more fantastic idea about their personality. They should be faultless. They should not make mistakes. And because such thing is spoken, even those who are in the leadership position, unfortunately what happens? They start faking. They try to become more than humans. अपने मनुष्यत्व को भूल जाते हैं. And because they forget their humanness, and the burden of trying to be what they are not becomes so strong, they stop to grow in life. They don't want to be vulnerable, but they become more and more vulnerable. Another very typical quality of Arjuna is authenticity. He has the courage to exhibit his limitation in his perfection. अपने परिपूर्णता में अपने अपूर्णता को समय समय पर प्रस्तुत नहीं करते हो, प्रकट हो जाता है. No, a very interesting quality of Arjuna, very amazing quality. In his perfection, extremely hardworking, focused, ambitious, dedicated, determined. There is a clarity, but within that clarity also he time to time expresses confusion. I am confused, Krishna. Dharma sammuda cheta. एक महान नेता को सबके सामने which becomes part of Vyasadev's compilation to say that I am confused about my duty. Therefore, Prabhupada explains in this verse 2.7 when Arjuna revealed Dharma Sammuda Cheta Shishyastem Shadimam Tom Prapannam. He said, Krishna, I do not know what is my duty. I am confused about my duty. Therefore, please tell me what I am supposed to do. I am your surrendered soul, your student. And Prabhupada explains, this material nature creates a precarious condition. Therefore, it behooves one to accept a teacher, a spiritual master. And churn, manthan karna padega. Arjuna had studied the Vedas, we saw. He studied Sama Veda. He studied Vedas for so many years. He practiced Vedas for so many years. He practiced archery. He was Gudakesh, alert. He took great pleasure in, he said, fighting is a festival for me. Not for brutality, for protection. रक्षण करने के लिए 12 साल वन में भी जा सकते हैं, because I am getting the opportunity to fight. And that very Arjuna who would hold Gandiva, he told in that assembly before Krishna came as a peacemaker, he said, my dear Lord, he said, my bow, the thread, usually just like how the soldier, many times his gun is not loaded. Only when there is a need, they load their gun. Otherwise, they don't load. Similarly, the string of the bow of a soldier is not always tied. They keep it open. Restriction, restrain. Because if you tie it, then there is a tendency to twang it. And if there is a tendency to twang it, there is a tendency to shoot also. These are all mentioned. So he says, the string of the bow is automatically rising and trying to knot itself. The arrows from an inexhaustible quiver are coming out, wanting to go into the bow. My sword from the sheath is coming out, ready to fight. Krishna, there is a great desire to fight for this war. And that very Arjuna, when he saw, there was a confusion. No, he said, I don't want to fight. ये हो सकता है. If somebody says, how can he do like this? Why can't he do like this? Why you are making him greater than what he is? Even the great cricketer Donald Broadman, he went for duck. 99.94 average. Right, in cricket, that is the average. Nobody has come anywhere close to that. Nobody has come anywhere close to that. But even in his career, if you study his life, there were so many ups and downs. Tragedy in family, tragedy in his sports career also. At one point of time, his average was only 12 in 7-8 matches, which was unheard. But we don't hear that part of the story. We only hear, 99. 99 होने के लिए कितने सारे limitations को पार करना पड़ा. So this is the beauty of Arjuna, and therefore Arjuna was able to speak this to Krishna. Krishna, I am limited. Even though it's very clear there is a confusion. Arjuna is assertive, at the same time very sensitive. Arjuna is very ambitious. But within that ambition also, there is this courage to tell Krishna, my dear Lord, I will live on begging. Bhaikshyam apiha loke. He said, I do not want the wealth of these 3 worlds. I will go to the forest and live by begging. He had done it before. It was not simply a word. And the greatest quality of Arjuna is able to expose himself to his limitation. It's a very important quality for a leader. Unfortunately, honesty is not respected in this world. If somebody is hypocritical, they said yes. Because hypocrisy is not displayed or exposed, because it's inside. Honesty is outside. which Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana were not able to do on the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna was able to do that. And therefore, this character of Arjuna, of humanness and perfection, made him what he was, to be always wanting to learn, never saying that I am perfect in everything at what I know. Taking that and then becoming extremely human. Right, this one great comedian, when he had to go first time in a public show, he became nervous. But then his mentor told him, don't worry, it's okay to be nervous, because eventually you'll become very confident, because you are a very confident person. Celebrate your nervousness also. Celebrate your lack of confidence also, because that is part of life. वो जीवन का अविभाज्य अंग है. So therefore, because of such an authenticity, he becomes very dear to Krishna. So Krishna meeting Arjuna, Arjuna had never heard about Krishna, but Krishna had heard about Arjuna. In the Mahabharata, we see when Narad Muni, in the Bhagavad, Narad Muni, this is almost the pastime which is winding up in Vrindavan. The rumors of Kamsa planning to bring Krishna to Mathura is spreading here and there. So that time, what happened was, Narad Muni came to meet with Krishna in a very secret place. He came to meet in a secret place. And what did he do? He basically, Narad Muni being a Trikalagya. Trikalagya means having the clarity about what would happen in the future. In the name of appreciating Krishna, he, in fact, you could say, as a devotee, he glorified Krishna. As a rishi, he inspired Krishna to do what he is supposed to do. And part of that, he also spoke about he killing Kamsa. He spoke about how he would establish Yudhishthira Maharaj as the Chakravarti. He spoke about performing the Rajasuya sacrifice. So it is not that Krishna asked Narad Muni, who are the Pandavas? No, he knew Pandavas. As the Supreme Lord, he knew Pandavas. But as the relative of Pandavas, he knew Pandavas. And then what happened when Krishna came to Mathura? He killed Kamsa. After killing Kamsa, within no time, Krishna sent a message through Akrura, wrote a letter to Dhritarashtra. After killing Kamsa for his atrocity, Krishna sends Akrura to Dhritarashtra, and the content of the letter was very sweet. But the occasion of sending that letter was very serious. Basically, Krishna wanted to tell Dhritarashtra, next is your turn if you do not behave properly. Pandavas are, in one sense, orphans. They have lost their father. Now you have to play the role of the father. Therefore, if you do not treat them fairly, if you don't treat them fairly, then there would be consequences for this. And Dhritarashtra, in response, he kind of spoke a Vedanta philosophy. He said, nothing moves without the will of God. He has the understanding, but is using that understanding for a wrong reason. When it comes to supporting the Pandavas and chastising Duryodhan, he always speaks the Vedanta philosophy. मैं क्या कर सकता हूं? But when it comes to stopping the Pandavas from growing and supporting Duryodhana's evil deeds, then the Daiva stays behind and the Purushartha comes in the forefront. Prayas karta hai wo. He endeavors to do something. It is extremely important to understand when we are supposed to do something good, when we have to sweat and work hard for the cause of higher goal, we always say Bhagwan kar lenge, Krishna will take care. But when we have to fight for the property, we don't say Krishna will take care. We hire best of the lawyer. We doubt that lawyer कि अच्छा है क्या बुरा है. We suspect that lawyer being party to other party. तभी दैव की बात आती ही नहीं है. जब अहंकार की बात आती है तब दैव आ जाता है. जब संघर्ष करने की बात आती है, नहीं, जब अहंकार की बात आती है तब पुरुषार्थ आ जाता है. पर संघर्ष करने की बात आती है दूसरों के लिए, तब दैव की बात आ जाती है. ना, हो जाएगा. कृष्णा इज देयर. सो धृतराष्ट्र वाज अ टिपिकल सिंबल ऑफ दिस कैरेक्टर ऑफ नॉट टेकिंग रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फॉर बीइंग फेयर. वो दैव पे डाल देता था. सो अगेन कृष्णा शोड हिज affection towards the Pandavas without even meeting them. Now Arjuna, when he was in the assembly of Drupad Maharaj, that Gandharva Chitrangada had told the Pandavas, you don't have a guru. So they chose Daumya Rishi as their spiritual teacher. And he had told that you are not married, so you should get married also. And then one Brahmana came and he narrated the entire story of Drupada's daughter Draupadi, how she was born, why she was born. He was narrating the story to the Pandavas without knowing that they were Pandavas. And he looked at Arjuna, he said, this young man had all the potential to win the hand of Draupadi. Even though he knew Drupad Maharaj had declared for this Swayamvar, only looking for Arjuna. And he narrated that story also, how Drupad Maharaj was very despondent when he got to know that Pandavas were burnt to death. His Purohit told him, no, it's not possible. Pandavas are not ordinary. He said, the great pious people do not experience accidental death. ऐसे उनका दुर्मरण नहीं हो सकता है. उनका मरण वीर मरण ही होता है, योग मरण ही होता है. ऐसे नहीं हुआ है. And therefore I recommend you declare for Draupadi Swayamvar. They will come there looking for this. So he narrated all this story. And meanwhile Vyasdeva had come and told the background of Draupadi, her past life. And he had told them, you 5 Pandavas will marry her. An indication he had given them. But some or other, in one sense, they had forgotten about this, because the event would bring out that remembrance. So they moved to this place. They came to Drupada's kingdom. They saw so many great heroes trying to, lift that bow. Many failed in lifting only. Many failed in stringing the bow. Many failed to shoot the target. Huge distance. Right. Karna was disturbed. Draupadi said, I will not marry a Suta. He shot the arrow because she said something. He missed by a mustard seed, but he missed it. And then, because nobody was able to do, I think Draupadi's brother, he asked others to come and try. The Kshatriyas could not do. And Arjuna was dressed as a Brahmana. He got up. When he got up, nobody could recognize the Pandavas, because everybody was looking at Draupadi, mujhe milegi, mujhe milegi. Even though the Pandavas were like Krishna told this to Balramji, he said, you see them, Therefore, in bhakti, it is not that we recognize God, God has to recognize us. When we say that I have done devotional service so much, doesn't matter. Did Krishna recognize you? If Krishna recognizes you, it doesn't matter whether you are officially devotee or not. Because Krishna is saying, ये मेरा भक्त है. जब तक भगवान नहीं कहेंगे, like that drishtanta is there, a poor man, a beggar told one of his fellow beggar, I have decided to marry the daughter of a mayor of a city. What? How is it possible? He said 50% हो गया. I have decided 50% अभी उसका बाकी है. लेकिन उसका सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है ना. She has to choose. So we are like ordinary beggar. We have declared that I want to go back to Godhead in this very lifetime. मेयर के डॉटर के साथ शादी करने के समान है. वो मेयर की डॉटर स्वीकार करना चाहिए ना. Unless Krishna recognizes you, Arjuna at that point of time did not see. But Krishna told. Balramji said, but they are dead. The news was not even revealed to Balramji. Because in Krishna Lila, Balram does not act as alert as Lakshman in Ram Lila. Very interesting. Balramji, I call him the transcendental secular. No? Always siding Kauravas. So this was only known to Bhishma, Vidura and Krishna that the Pandavas are still living. Krishna did not even tell his own extended self. अपने ही extended self को नहीं बताया था कि पांडव जीवित है. अभी बताया कि देखो पांडव जीवित है. अरे तो चले गए. नहीं, वो तो कैसे जा सकते हैं? They are here. And said they are just like that fire which is covered by the ashes. And I guarantee you that Arjuna will win this competition. So Arjuna comes. He comes to the bow, picks up the bow. Before picking up the bow, he remembers his Guru Drona. अपने माता को स्मरण करता है. And then he glances towards Krishna. Because even Arjuna recognized Krishna has come. Arjuna also recognized Krishna has come. He took Krishna's blessings. And when Arjuna raised his bow, Mahabharata explains, Bhagwan Krishna baki brahmanon ke saath. Because everybody is ridiculing Arjuna. Said, what is this? छाछ पीने वाला ब्राह्मण थोड़ी धनुष उठा सकता है. इनमें क्या दम है? जब क्षत्रिय कर नहीं पाए, when the warriors could not do, how can a brahmanas do? Some brahmanas ridiculed. He said, you are going there, you will basically ridicule us by, trying and embarrassing ourselves. And then some other brahmana said, no, he looks good. हमेशा हर फील्ड में, हर सोसाइटी में, हर कम्युनिटी में दो मत होते हैं. Can't avoid that. But those were interested Arjuna to perform, they were blessing Arjuna, and it is explained that Krishna अपने हाथ को मलने लगे. ऐसा होता है ना, ऐसा करने लगे. Hoping that Arjuna will win. Therefore, again in bhakti, Krishna always wants us to win. Bhagwan Krishna never puts obstacles on the path of the journey of a devotee. Some or other, whenever sometime devotees say, oh, Krishna is testing me. At least I believe Krishna does not test, because I am not such a devotee. Krishna tests devotees who are really great. And why does he test? He does not test them to cause pain to them. He tests them knowing very well they will excel in this examination. But for ordinary devotee, Krishna does not test, but he makes the paper very easy. Very liberal teacher. Right. So Krishna always wants us to win in the battle of life. His good wishes are always there with us. Therefore, if you see all the mantras in the Vedas, whether during the Upanan Samskar, whether during the marriage ceremony, दे आर नॉट वार्निंग मंत्रास, माया में गिर जाएगा, ऐसा एक भी मंत्र नहीं शास्त्रों में। विवाह के समय, उपनयन संस्कार के समय विद्या सीखने से माया में गिर जाओ, ऐसा एक भी मंत्र नहीं आता। देर आर नो वार्निंग मंत्रास, बट देर आर ब्लेसिंग मंत्रास, देर आर assurance mantras, there are shanti mantras, offering respect to others, gratitude mantras are there, but एक भी ऐसा मंत्र नहीं जहां आपको डराने वाला मंत्र है, एक भी नहीं है। So here Krishna was so happy to see Arjuna. Arjuna took blessings of Krishna, their eye contact. That was the first meeting, eye to eye. भगवान ने अर्जुन को देखा, अर्जुन ने कृष्ण देखा, कृष्ण से आशीर्वाद लिया दूर से। He couldn't go directly to Krishna and offer his obeisances. दूर से ही किया. And it was acknowledged by the Supreme Lord because Krishna understands what somebody goes through inconveniences. Krishna doesn't have the same rule for everybody. सब लोग मार्च पास्ट की तरह मेरे मंदिर में आना ही चाहिए. Everybody has to do exactly like this only, because bhakti is not defined by activities alone. Bhakti is defined by feeling also. It is not only about you have to do this. No, there is no you have to. Because bhakti is so broad and wonderful that one may stay in whichever part of the world he is, but he has the feeling or she has the feeling, I want to do something for God. ऐसे कितने devotee है? They could never go to any holy places in their entire life. You don't hear some of the great souls ever went to Vrindavan. Nowadays people go to Vrindavan as if there is a other room only. मैं वृंदावन जा रहा हूँ. We do yatras, we do holy places visit, which is like worth going for 300 lifetimes. Have to go. I need to do it. No, bhakti is not like that. So Krishna acknowledged each other, Arjuna and Krishna, and certainly Arjuna did shoot the arrow. And what do you see there? Krishna celebrating Arjuna's success. Krishna did not tell Balramji, oh my God, now Arjuna is successful, he'll become very proud now, I need to smash him down. Humble बनाने के लिए उसको मैं पूरा गिरा देता हूँ. No. Krishna came again. He followed the Pandavas. Came to that very place where they were staying in the house of the potters. He came to that place. And after seeing them, I think Yudhishthira Maharaj asked him, how is that you knew that we are here? And what does Krishna say? There he glorified them, Pandavas. He said, how can anybody keep you covered? You are like fire, covered with ashes. And Krishna gave them the gift, blessed them, and he went away from there. So that was the first meeting of the Pandavas with Arjuna, which created a powerful bond. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, how many times Krishna repeatedly uses the word of Bhaktosime Sakacheti, Priyosmi, Hanta, that I do not reveal this knowledge to anybody and everybody. You are my devotee. How many times Krishna tells Arjuna that you are my friend, you are very dear to me. Only in the 10th chapter Arjuna glorifies Krishna. भगवान अपने भक्तों की ज्यादा स्तुति करते हैं, अर्जुन करते हैं. The greatest glorification of Krishna comes from Arjuna. The long glorification, overwhelming glorification comes in the Bhagavatam first canto, after the departure of Krishna back to the spiritual world. When he comes back from Dwarka, our Yudhishthira Maharaj is waiting. Arjuna had gone to Dwarka for 7 months. He had not come back. There was no news only. Can you imagine 7 months? No news. So then Arjuna comes and Yudhishthira Maharaj is conveying, talking to Bhima, I don't see anything good here. Everything, there is an ill omen. I don't know why Arjuna has come. Why Arjuna has not come. When Arjuna comes, he saw Arjuna's face has fallen. There is no glitter only. There is no shine only. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj asked, so one of the most beautiful chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 15th chapter, remembrance of Krishna by the Pandavas. Pandavas retired timely, I think that is the name of the chapter. And then he asked so many questions. The question of etiquette, the question of guest service. He said, did you fail to acknowledge the guest? Did you eat on your own without sharing with others? Right. He asked so many questions to Yudhishthira Arjuna. And then eventually he didn't want to ask that question. He was afraid of asking that question, but he knew in the heart of his heart that question has to be asked, and that is the very question is the answer in that question. Is it that you are suffering the separation of your greatest dear friend, Krishna? He asked that question, and Arjuna became despondent. He fell silent, and the tears started rolling from his eyes. He couldn't speak for a moment. And then when the tears of his eyes, he said, Vanchito Maharaja Harina Bandhu Rupina. He said, my dear brother, certainly yes, that I am been bereft of his association. Who was he? He was Harina Bandhu Rupina. He was my bandhu who bound me by this love and affection. And in his separation, now again Arjuna had the courage. If it was not for Arjuna, nobody would have ever come to know exactly what happened from Dwarka to Hastinapur on the way. And Arjuna had the courage and the honesty to reveal. He said, my dear Yudhishthira Maharaj, on the way back to here, because of separation of Krishna, I have lost all my power. And therefore, I was not able to protect ordinary coward boys who had come to strike me. They came with their sticks, but I could not defeat them. I had the same bow, I had the same chariot. Not necessarily means Gandiva was there, not necessarily means that chariot was disappeared. He says, Tadvai Ishava, that I had that same bow and the chariot. We had so many. So he had the capacity, but in separation of Krishna, I lost it. It was like a magical wand. When the magic is over, whatever he has created, it's nothing but an ash only. मेरी स्थिति ऐसी हो गई है, शरीर में जब आत्मा निकल जाती है, शरीर गिर जाती है. That is my situation, my dear brother. And then Arjuna there, he starts glorifying Krishna. In every part of his life, where directly Krishna was involved or Krishna was not directly involved, he kept on giving credit to Krishna. पहले भी दे रहा था. He was giving before also, but he knew one of the qualities of a great personality, our Supreme Lord, he loves to be glorified, no doubt, but is also embarrassed by glorification. And especially those who are very close, there is an official relationship. When you come to the temple during Abhishek, during Puja, there is an official expression. Mantra ka ucharan karte hai. But in an unofficial way, where the relationship is very intimate, there is Sakhya ras, there is Madhurya ras, there is Vatsalya ras. It is explained by the great Acharyas. Krishna distances himself from the Vedic chant, but he prefers the chastisement of his devotees. Arey kya jhoote raha? No, he loves that. Now when you call Krishna, Arjuna sometime would call Krishna, oh Krishna, you are such a liar. Or sometime you would say, Krishna, you are such a truthful personality. Sarcastically saying that means you are a liar. So those verses, those intimate exchanges with Krishna are more liked by Krishna than all the official prayers. And therefore when one of the coward boy would tell Krishna, Krishna, now you have carried this mountain for a long time. He said, give it to in my hand. I'll carry it. But if you don't trust me, then at least change your hand. Why was that boy saying? Because in one of the battles in wrestling he had defeated Krishna. So his logic was very clear. If I can defeat Krishna in the wrestling match, that means I am better than Krishna in lifting the Govardhan mountain also. Therefore give me it. And if you don't have faith in me, at least change your hand. No? This kind of discussion with his coward friends is more attractive to Krishna than such glorification. So therefore you don't see Arjuna being official to Krishna many times. He is very unofficial. But here, after the departure of Krishna, is so overwhelmed, he glorifies Krishna in so many ways, so many ways. And then in separation of Krishna, the Pandavas, and also being satisfied of seeing Parikshit Maharaj being a capable ruler. No, they had the courage. No, original politicians. In that sense, this lady Sushma Swaraj should be appreciated. Somewhere in the mind, she must have known that my time is up. She could have contested, she could have got the same post also. This Vairagya should be appreciated. Right. Sometimes devotees, in the name of doing so much of service, they don't allow other devotees to move ahead and take over. They feel that mere bina kuch hoga hi nahi. No, to learn something. So the Pandavas had the courage to move on. They could have served more years also. But they said, no, let Parikshit Maharaj rule. And for Parikshit Maharaj to rule, he was ruling, he was a prince. But now to rule completely, what is the best solution? You move away from his life. He would want us to be there, but we should not be there. And they moved to the forest, back again where they started. They began their life in the forest. They came to Hastinapur. They built a kingdom. They lost in the gambling match. They went back to the forest. Again came back, ruled for 36 years. And again very seamlessly walked to the forest. One by one, they started dropping dead. And those who survived, they continued to walk. This was very profound on their part. And therefore you can imagine Arjuna would always remain in the pages of the Bhagavatam, in the pages of the Mahabharata, in the pages of Adi Puran. In so many scripture you will always find Arjuna. Therefore Prabhupada explains in one place that Arjuna amongst the Pandavas is an eternal associate. Others are Devatas. They go back to their respective places. Like Yudhishthira Maharaj goes back to Yamaraj's place. So different Devatas. But Arjuna is an eternal associate. So next is when the Pandavas were flourishing, they were growing. One time, our Indra, Agni Dev had a trouble. He had a digestion problem. देखो अगर अग्नि को indigestion का problem हो जाए तो कितनी समस्या आ जाएगी. Why he had an indigestion problem? Because he was eating too much of Rajbhog. Too much of yajna, too much of ghee was being poured, but he was not able to consume that completely. There was no blazing fire, so he wanted to go to that forest where the ghee would not be there, but whatever ghee had been given to him will help him to consume. For that he wanted a forest fire. But to consume an entire forest, there was an obstacle from Indra. Indra would not allow that to happen. Because Indra represents Vishnu Shakti. Bhagavatam explains, he represents Vishnu Shakti. Maintenance is the responsibility of Indra. When the maintenance becomes difficult for him, then the Lord appears in this world. Krishna appears directly. So therefore, consumption, Agni represents Rudra Tattva. Destruction is the responsibility of Rudra. Samhar, संहार के लिए भी रुद्र की आवश्यकता होती है. हर एक का संहार होता है. 370 का भी संहार होता है. No, it cannot stay because Smriti means what? Smriti means changing. Whatever is not working, whatever is counterproductive, with a great sensitivity, one has to take it out, just like the old building has to come down. Vasamsi Jiranani, Krishna is not only talking about the cloth. You don't keep stitching the cloth many times thinking that ho jayega. I love this cloth. No. Yata vihaya, usko kya karte hai, us kapde ko tyagte. We give up and bring the new cloth. Therefore, when sometimes people say, why there are no buildings which were built during Ramayana and Mahabharata, they were very sensitive people. They were more interested in living substance of teaching rather than structure. उन्होंने ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर नहीं बनाया सोच करके हमें ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर बनाना है कि हमेशा के लिए रहना चाहिए. हमेशा के लिए इस भौतिक जगत में रहने के लिए प्रयास करना ये राक्षसी वृत्ति है. To be immortal in the mortal world from any perspective is not, it is against the nature. Like we were discussing about architect. This young boy was telling, when you go and see the Cambodia, Angkor Wat. Now the structure of Angkor Wat is, we have seen that, it's a stone structure only, but the way it was built, that the nature had the power to completely cover it. He said that is called a structure which allows the nature to dominate. प्रकृति को dominate करने के लिए उन्होंने इस प्रकार से बनाया था. Beautiful structure, but ultimately प्रकृति has to win. You can't try to defy the prakriti. It was completely covered over. They had to dig. Therefore, to say, I want to see Gandiva bow, there has to be artifact. Looking for artifact, looking for gross proof is a sign of not intelligence. It is a sign of not being sensitive. Our scripture says, rather than the person, the teaching is more important. Rather than the structure, the knowledge of the kingdom is more important. Ramayana, where is the original Ramayana? Vyasdev was not interested in just usko hum log idhar chupa ke rakhenge, let it stay for. Yes, they had the facility to stay. Therefore, it is said that any temple architecture, according to Vastu, it is understood that it should survive for 1,000 years. ऐसा ही मंदिर बना कि 1000 साल के लिए जिएगा, क्योंकि उसके बाद में दूसरी संस्कृति आ जाएगी, दूसरा कुल आ जाएगा. They will get the opportunity to build something. Therefore, you will not find anything Dwarka. Before Dwarka, that was ruled by Kusha. Kusha was the king of Dwarka, and therefore it was called as Kushavrata. And what happened with Kushavrata? After some time, Kushavrata was totally destroyed. And Krishna tells this story to Yudhishthira Maharaj just before Rajasuya sacrifice. He said, Bhagwan Krishna, why he chose instead of Mathura? Because it was more safer, because Jarasandha was continuously attacking. So Krishna shifted the entire Yadavas to Dwarka, and before shifting, according to Mahabharata, according to the Bhagavatam, it was mystical. According to Mahabharata, it's a combination of mysticism and hard labor of repairing it. Bhagwan ne usko fir se banaya. And now if you go and looking for, I want to look for Dwarka, I need to see that artifact, you will not get, because they were sensitive to the surrounding. क्यों मैं हमेशा मेरा छापा छोड़कर जाना चाहिए? लोगों को हमेशा छापा छोड़ के जाना होता है. I need to stay in this world eternally. मेरी मूर्ति हमेशा के लिए बनना है. अरे वो भी किससे बना है? वो भी मैटर से बना है ना. Just like your body is part of the matter, earth, water, fire, air, ether, you'll go away for 100 years. And your murti will go away after 1,000 years. But your teaching, if it can survive, because the teaching is the eternal principle. So you don't find these things. So therefore, Agni represent destruction. फिर वो जंगल हो, या फिर स्ट्रक्चर हो, या प्रकृति हो, पूरे शिफ्ट होते रहता है. तो इसलिए when you study this part of the story in the Mahabharata, one may say, why Krishna supported such brutal violence? No, it is telling us destruction, samhar is part of life. एंड अग्नि रिप्रेजेंट्स दैट रुद्र तत्व. भस्म करना उसका उत्तरदायित्व है. और जो भस्म है ना, द राख, इट हैज गॉट ग्रेट अल्कालिन. देखो अग्नि से निकलती है, लेकिन अगर आपको पित्त हुआ है, आयुर्वेदिक डॉक्टर आपको क्या देगा? भस्म देगा लगाने के लिए. It has a cooling impact because it helps a new creation. So Krishna and Arjuna agreed to the proposal of our Agni Dev, and Arjuna was very clear. He said, I will do it, but give me the right resources to do that. His agreement was not complete without the building of the capacity. कि अगर ऐसा युद्ध करना है तो मेरे पास रथ चाहिए, और आई नीड एन इनएग्जॉस्टिबल क्विवर. सो व्हाट हैपेंड? अग्नि हैड टू गिव देम. ही गेव inexhaustible quiver. He gave and then he gave great chariot, and he also gave Sudarshan Chakra to Krishna. It belongs to Krishna only, but and this Leela, Krishna is acting as a human being. He has to receive all those weapons from different devatas. उन्होंने उनको सुदर्शन चक्र भी दिया. And then there was a great battle. Krishna and Arjuna were supporting Agni to destroy, and Indra was pouring rain. उनका अपना काम कर रहे थे. तो करते 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 क्या हुआ? अंत में Arjuna was able to defeat the devatas. Arjuna created such a ceiling, had the power to stop the rains of Indra. Can you imagine? He was able to stop it. And by stopping it, actually, if we know the art of proper mantras, this kind of flood would never happen only. There is a problem in the way the cities are built, and there is a problem in the way how we deal with the problem. इसको हम लोग खो गए. So what happened? Arjuna created a ceiling, and ultimately Indra was defeated. Agni consumed the entire forest, and he became completely satisfied. उसकी अग्नि क्या हो गई? प्रज्वलित हो गई. And therefore, when you take Ayurvedic treatment, one of the principle of Ayurvedic treatment, the doctor will always tell you, you should not get cold, you should not avoid wet weather, you can't swim, शरीर ठंडा भी नहीं होना चाहिए, ज़्यादा गर्म भी नहीं होना चाहिए, and he avoids giving you ghee, so that your fire digestive system become very strong. And after taking good treatment for 15 days, they say slowly start taking ghee. The same principle of Khandava Prastha. And then after that, Indra was very happy to see the greatness of Arjuna and Krishna, and he decided to honor them by giving something. He asked Arjun, what can I do for you? And what Arjuna wanted? Very clear. He had to grow in life. And I was discussing with somebody, Bhagavatam teaches us that death can come at any time. This moment also. Anytime death can come. Sushma Sarvaj did not expect, that today only she will die. Instantly she left her body. For that we need Bhagavatam, because death can come anytime. But what if you live more than that moment? If you live for 40 years? If you live for 50 years? If you are not prepared to, if you are not educated how to live, and if you are not educated how to die. So Gita and Mahabharat, they teach how to live as long as you need to live, and if you live for that matter. And Bhagavatam teaches how to die. It's a harmony between living and dying, living and dying. So therefore, if Arjuna knew, as a Kshatriya, he tells this to Yudhishthira Maharaj also, when he was supposed to go to, kill Jarasandha, Yudhishthira Maharaj became extremely, he said, no, how can we? Because he's undefeatable. He cannot be defeated. I can't send my brothers like this. They are like my two eyes. Krishna said, what about me? If they are two eyes, what about me? So Yudhishthira Maharaj realized Krishna is my heart. He said, I can't send you. Then Arjuna said, my dear brother, death can come any time. A Kshatriya cannot fear death. What will happen at the moment? What will happen at the... He said, I will only die, right? But at least I'll get the opportunities to do something good. तो अर्जुन जानते थे कि मृत्यु कभी भी आ सकती है, लेकिन अगर नहीं आए तो मृत्यु. If you'll start living for 30-40 years, then you need to know the art of life also. Therefore here Arjuna, therefore Chanakya speaks based on this principle. He said, when you work, you should work in such a way that you are going to live for 100 years. And also, you should practice your spirituality in such a way as if you are going to die in this very moment. Therefore, Adhyatma and Vyavahar is a beautiful Sangam. So, Arjuna had no hesitation to ask from Indra. He said, I want all kinds of divine weapons. अभी तो लिया था उन्होंने. He took chariot. He took Gandiva. Krishna took Sudarshan Chakra. And then he said, I want more divine weapons. Then Indra said, you will get it. Not now. Right time you will be provided this weapon. So Arjuna, as the greatest devotee of Krishna, was collecting weapons. Bhima, for that matter, did not go to any devata. Only thing he got it from is the benediction from Hanumanji. And sometime some people say Bhima is better devotee than Arjuna because he did not go to any other devatas. But Arjuna went to all the devatas to engage his talent in serving Krishna and in Swadharma only. Krishna has made these devatas. It depends upon what is your intention. Devata ke baad jana chahiye, nahi jana chahiye. What is your intention? If you are compromising with your love towards Krishna and you are substituting Krishna to devatas, that is not good. But if you are thinking, no, I need all these resources so that I can use in Krishna's service, in Dharma's service, I don't mind going to anybody. Hare Krishna, for the sake of the Pandavas, he went to anybody and everybody repeatedly again and again. He told that Karna also, if you are not fighting for some days, till Bhishma dies, fight for the Pandavas, thode samay ke liye to chalega humko. You know, he likes to collect all the resources and use for the devotee seva. Just see, Bhagwan is not, Krishna doesn't have that stereotype. Oh, Karna is a Rakshas, usse hum log kuch kaam nahi lenge. Arre nahi, khali beta na, usko kaam mein lagate na. If he is agreeable, then let him work for the Pandavas. So Arjuna followed that principle of asking from Indra. Indra said, you will get, and you don't find Krishna becoming offended. Hey Arjuna, how could you ask that? When I am here, I could provide everything to you. You know, your bhakti is vyabhichari. You know, there is no loyalty in your bhakti. No. Arjuna asked for a divine weapon, and what did Krishna ask from Indra? Indra said, I want to give something to you. Now Krishna could have easily told Indra, hey, shut up man. Whatever you have, all belongs to me only. Why are you showing off? तू क्या देगा मेरे को? तेरी हिम्मत होगी इतनी मुझे देने के लिए? The beauty of Krishna is to make others also feel that I can offer you something, including the devatas. इंद्र को इतना कंफर्टेबल बना रहे, उसको देने की इच्छा है ना. तो what did Krishna ask from Indra? He said, my dear Indra, please increase my friendship with Arjuna. मेरी मित्रता उससे हमेशा बढ़ते रहे. Let it become very deep and very strong. This is what Krishna asked from Arjuna, from Indra. Just see, again, repeatedly we learn this principle. The God of the Vedas is not autocrat. The God of the Vedas does not take a superior position. From a technical perspective, from the positional perspective, he is higher. But from the relationship perspective, he doesn't mind becoming equal or lower. अपने भावनाओं को प्रकट करने में उनको कोई कष्ट नहीं है. He has the courage, and more than courage, he has great happiness to tell the gopis of Vrindavan, now we are going to celebrate Jhulan Yatra. Jhulan Yatra is the festival of Sambhog, means coming together. And Sharad Purnima time is the festival of separation. No, Bhagwan Saath mein aane. It's a happy festival. And Sharad Purnima is the festival where Krishna and the gopis experience separation. So Krishna, when he is with his devotees, he acts, they can chastise him. So when the gopis met Krishna in Kurukshetra, what did Krishna do? Krishna met the gopis, gopis had the courage. They were extremely cultured. They would not raise their voices. Parantu itna sambandh tha prem ka, they were able to chastise Krishna. And Krishna went to touch the feet of Radharani. And that pastime is very beautiful. Bhagwan Radharani का चरण स्पर्श कर रहा है. आपने कभी देखा है कि पति अपने पत्नी का चरण स्पर्श करता है? अभी करते हैं, no? But the desire is not to. But Krishna is doing, and Gopi, Radharani is running away, said, Krishna, what are you doing? What will the society think? And Radharani says, one great devotee said, Radharani said, Krishna, the society has given you complete control over us. We cannot question what you do. Therefore, whatever you do is not crime at all. Krishna said, no, I am a criminal because I did not fulfill my promise. Radharani is saying, you are not criminal. I am a criminal because in your separation, I am still living. Krishna said, no, I can understand you are not living. You are crying, you are weeping, you are suffering. Radharani said, that's all only imitation. It is fake, it has no substance. तो कौन जीतेगा इसमें? भक्ति जीतेगा ना. So therefore, Krishna was same thing with Arjuna also. It doesn't matter which is the devotee, in whichever ras. From a technical perspective, we make a distinction. Madhurya ras is the superior, उसके बाद में वात्सल्य, उसके बाद में साक्य, उसके बाद में दास्य, उसके बाद में शांत. But every devotee has the power to fascinate Krishna to the same degree, where Krishna can tell those devotees, without you I cannot survive. तो भगवान ने क्या किया? इंद्र से प्रार्थना की. इंद्र को कहा कि I want deeper connection with Arjun. And then when the Pandavas lose everything, very interesting, they lost everything. But you don't find anywhere they question Krishna. They question destiny, no doubt. दैवों के लिए वो प्रश्न करते हैं, द्रौपदी करती है, लेकिन भगवान के प्रति कभी आक्षेपण नहीं करते. When the Pandavas met Krishna, and he said, Arjuna said, what did he say? He offers, as I said, very seldom, there are very few prayers where Arjuna officially glorifies Krishna. Very nice, Krishna, you are so great. You perform tapasya for 10,000 years as Narayan Rishi. Another time you perform 11,000 years of tapasya. In other instance, you did 100 years of tapasya on the bank of the Saraswati river. You did this for so long that your body became weak, and you still killed the evil Narakasura and gave those beautiful umbrella earring to Aditi. He's mixing two things. It is not that after doing tapasya, Krishna did this. Arjuna is basically combining the entire life of Krishna, being Narayan Rishi did that tapasya, but as Krishna, he killed Narakasura. In reality, you don't have anger. Neither are you jealous, nor do you have any falsity nor cruelty. As we said, Krishna is not a jealous God. One of the most wonderful pastime is in the Bhagavatam when Bhishma Dev was about to depart from this world. And Pandavas were already conquered. Yudhishthira Maharaj was appointed as the king. What did Krishna tell Yudhishthira Maharaj and the Pandavas? He said, dress gorgeously. ऐसे अपने कपड़ों को पहनो, राजवेश धारण करो, gorgeously dress. You don't come to see someone who's about to die. You don't come with a gorgeous dress. You go as simple as possible. But Krishna ordered the Pandavas. Krishna could have thought like an artificial alert personality, Hare, don't dress like this because his attention will be distracted. He should be fully focused in me. If he's not focused in me, Antakale cha mamema smaran mukta kalevaram, he has to come back again to this world, whatever he thinks. It is but natural for Bhishma to think about the Pandavas because they suffered so much. By seeing them in a properly dressed, he would glorify, wow, what you suffered. And he did like that. That did not make Krishna feel that, oh, he is less attentive to me. Bhakta of Krishna does not mean that you lose all other relationships. Being a devotee of Krishna means you have the ability to reconcile all relationship in regards to Krishna and Krishna in regards to all other relationship. वहाँ कृतज्ञता की भावना होती है. A real devotee of Krishna has the courage to be grateful to anybody and everybody, those who have contributed in his journey. Focus doesn't mean that you become like an isolated growth. It's an integrated growth. And Krishna was very happy to see that. Therefore, you see, the Bible describes God as a jealous lover, a supremely autocrat. But the Vaishnava scriptures may say that God can do anything and everything. But how does he behave? How does he act? So, he says, you don't have any anger, neither are you jealous, nor do you have any falsity nor cruelty. There is no harshness in you. You are truly the greatest. Arjuna spoke to his friend. देखो कितना apt glorification is there of Krishna. Krishna is Nispruha, a most fascinating personality, because most of the time when you have a power corrupts our consciousness. It tends to make people narcissist. There is a Sattva-guna narcissist, there is a Rajoguna narcissist, and there is a Tamoguna narcissist also. There is a physical violence, there is a verbal violence, and there is a mental violence. But Krishna does not create any of these things. Anytime when he contributes something to in your life, he consciously makes a point, you choose, nothing force. इसलिए भगवान स्वतंत्रता देते हैं ना. The purpose of giving freedom, for becoming liberated, you don't need Krishna. For becoming equipoised, you don't need Krishna. You need disciplined life. For achieving eternality, you don't need Krishna. You need some kind of belief in the power of higher energies. वैसे लोग काफी stable हो जाते हैं, equipoised होते हैं. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, those who are equipoised, those who are able to deal with pain and happiness, he said they've already reached Paramatma. Bhagwan bol rahe khud. He doesn't say about meeting him, talking him. He said, if you can manage equanimity, equilibrium, you are already there. If an ordinary cricket player also can do that, why people are glorifying the New Zealand cricket captain? Because he was able to exhibit equanimity. मांस खाने वाला होकर भी इसका अर्थ नहीं कि मांस खाना चाहिए, वो तो करता नहीं equanimity. So he was equipoised, and Krishna says, therefore to achieve mukti you don't need Krishna, but to love Krishna you need bhakti. भगवान से प्रेम करने के लिए संबंध चाहिए, और प्रेम करने के लिए स्वतंत्रता सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है. Because without freedom you can't love. Very simple. Therefore, what does Krishna do? Krishna gives us the freedom to remain peaceful and not love him. How long? As long as you want. But because it is not the nature of the living entities, even though living entity can stay in Brahma Jyoti forever, but at some point of time, living entity makes the choice, no, this is not fair. And I need to interact. And whom do I interact with? If he chooses to interact with Krishna, then he gets bhakti. If he chooses to interact with this world, he comes back again to this world. तो निर्णय करना चाहिए कि मुझे भगवान से प्रेम करना है. And therefore you don't ever see Krishna ever forcing you that you love me. That is Ravan. Ravana is forcing Sita to love, but Krishna never. He just gives us the knowledge. And then when the living entity chooses to love Krishna, he is very happy to reciprocate. And then Vaishampayana explains, I actually wrote all these things, wanted to read. Arjuna glorified Krishna in this way. Krishna replied smiling at his most beloved friend. These are all the exact statement from the Mahabharata. You are mine and I am yours. देखो कैसे चालू करते भगवान. How does it start? Ownership. He could say you are mine, but Krishna is also saying I am yours. जितना तुम मुझे own करता है, उतना तू भी मुझे own करता है. Whatever belongs to you belongs to me. Anyone who hates you hates me. Anyone who favors you favors me. No? Oh, undefeatable hero, you are the Nara and I am the Narayan, Sri Hari. We both have come in the form of Krishna and Arjun. You are no different from me and I am no different from you. This is the real Advaita philosophy. Non-duality. But this non-duality is based upon bhakti principles. Prem ke karan. Therefore, it is very difficult to distinguish between us. In this way, Krishna glorified Arjuna when he came to meet the Pandavas. Therefore, when you talk about Vaikuntha Prapti, a living entity could achieve the same four-handed form of Lord Vishnu. पहचान में नहीं आता. What is the only distinction between Vaikuntha Vasis and Lord Vishnu? Only one distinction. बहुत गहराई से देखना पड़ेगा. What is that? A living entity that does not have a Srivatsa Chinna. Lakshmi resides there. Rest everything is equal. उतना ही संपत्ति, उतना ही परिपूर्णता, full of knowledge, full of bliss, full of eternality. It is not given to us. It is our constitutional reality. It is our constitutional reality. Bhagwan usko छीनते नहीं है. So therefore, bhakti is very special because you can achieve perfection, but for bhakti there has to be reciprocation. I need to choose that I want to serve Krishna. I want to become servant of Krishna. I want to be friend of Krishna. If you don't become friend of Krishna, if you don't become servant of Krishna, you are not a demon. Technically. Because you could be full of knowledge and full of eternality. आनंद के लिए, भक्ति के आनंद के लिए संबंधों की आवश्यकता है. Please try to understand this. Therefore, Krishna, what does he do? He provides that freedom, knowing very well the living entity can misuse. Therefore, nobody can take away our freedom. Generally, we misuse our freedom. But that is the only way you learn your lesson. Still gain back your freedom and again choose to not to love Krishna and choose to love something else. Again you go back, ऐसे करते करते पुनरपि जननम पुनरपि मरणम बहुनाम जन्मनामन्ते ज्ञानवान माम प्रपद्यन्ते वासुदेवम सर्वमिति सहमात्मा सुदुर्लभम. ऐसे बहुत रेयर है. और जो महात्मा नहीं है, yes, from a devotee's passionate description out of affection for Krishna, which is allowed, he chastises one who is not a devotee of Krishna. He's a Rakshasa, he's a demon, he's useless. वो प्रेम के कारण ऐसा गाली दे रहा है. बट अगर कोई ब्रह्मवादी है, परमात्मावादी है, वो भक्त नहीं होना, कृष्ण उसको शाप नहीं देते. रहना तू, I give you space to live eternally forever, satisfied, may not be happily. In your spiritual position as Atma, स्टेबिलिटी आपको हमेशा के लिए मिल सकता है, उसमें हस्तक्षेप नहीं करूंगा. बट ओनली व्हेन द लिविंग एंटिटी चूजेस, नो आई वांट टू लव, आई वांट टू लव, आई वांट टू लव, देन कृष्ण सेड आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू रिसीव योर लव, आई एम वेटिंग दैट यू लव मी. तो मैं आपको ग्रेटफुल हूं. देयरफॉर अगेन दैट गोप कुमार इन द बृहद भागवतामृत, द फ्रेंडशिप डे, फ्रेंडशिप डे, whose need is it to be with Krishna? Krishna's or mine? It is my need, but Krishna becomes more needy of my association. Therefore, when we go back to the spiritual world, how does he reciprocate? He doesn't say rascal aa gaya ultimately, maar kha ke, जूते खाए इधर से उधर से, मार खाए, मेरे पास आ गया, सुधर गया ना अभी, फिर से नहीं जाने का. He doesn't say like that, because he's not a mafia king. No, a mafia king, what he does, he acts, okay, मैं तुमको छोड़ रहा, तो जा, I free you. But wherever you go, his agents are there. He doesn't allow you to live happily only. You are always bound by his people. Even though he told you, I freed you. लेकिन भगवान ऐसा नहीं करते. When you go back, that beautiful picture of Krishna embracing that covered boy, the description is there in the Brihad Bhagavatamrit. Krishna says, my dear child, how much suffering you went through, how much difficulty you went through. The world rejected you. You went through so much of painful reality. But because you have done to give me happiness, therefore I am very grateful to you. Brihad Bhagavatamrit explains, first Krishna faints in happiness. Then the devotee faints, saying that Krishna faints. ये भगवान है, ये डिस्क्रिप्शन है ऐसे भगवान का. तो हाउ कैन यू एवर रेज ऑब्जेक्शन व्हाई गॉड इज सेंडिंग फॉर सच डिजास्टरस फ्लड? इससे बड़ा मूर्ख कोई नहीं हो सकता ऐसा प्रश्न पूछने वाला. बिकॉज दैट क्वेश्चन इटसेल्फ इज इलॉजिकल. इसमें न्याय नहीं है. No, there is no logic in this question, because that is not the reality. You have to hear the description of the Vedantic God, not the convent school ka God. Standing with brim, standing with fire, always there to cause you so much of pain. जहां डर के कारण भगवान के पास में जाते हैं, वहां संबंध नहीं होता, वहां डिस्टेंस होता है. A relationship is a relationship of friendship. So therefore Krishna, even where is he speaking when the Pandavas had basically committed great crime? उसको भी उन्होंने उनको दंड चास्टाइज किया. But when Arjuna offered this prayer, he is able to express this to the Pandavas, not holding back. You don't see, we analyze that when Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to do Rajasuya sacrifice, he sent a letter to Dwarka saying that Krishna, I am confused about it, whether to do or not to do, because if I ask my people, those who worship me, they will say you should do it, it's great. Those who criticize me, they will say don't do it. Therefore, whatever opinion I'll get about Rajasuya sacrifice, it will all be based upon their perception about me. तो सत्य के साथ संबंधित नहीं है, और संबंधों के कारण वो अपने उत्तर देंगे. इसलिए I need a उत्तर which is satya, and you could do that. He wrote a beautiful letter to Krishna, and Krishna came to Hastinapur. He spoke such a huge history to Yudhishthira Maharaj. इतिहास पढ़ाया भगवान ने. हम बोलते हैं ना, we have to change the history, उधर से चालू होना चाहिए. And the first teacher of इतिहास is Krishna only. Talks about the entire geopolitics. जरासंध कौन था, वर्ण संकरता कहाँ से आ गई, परशुराम कौन थे, and why he built the Dwarka city. कम्स के बारे में इतना सब कुछ भगवान समाचार सुनाते हैं. Where did he learn all these things? In Vrindavan he was absorbed in his personal relationship with the gopis, coward boys, parents. वहाँ इतिहास पढ़ा क्या? अगर भगवान को एक अवतार के रूप में देखेंगे, you don't hear in Vrindavan Krishna doing that. But he must have learned everything in 64 days with Sandipani Muni, because part of that 64 days राजनीति को भी पढ़ना. कश्मीरी भाषा सीख लिया था भगवान ने. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu specifically talks about the language of Kashmir, right? Radhika Vallabh Prabhu, देखो भगवान को भी चाहे था 370 निकल जाना चाहिए. You learn Bhakti Rasamrita, Rupa Goswami talks about it. He talks about the language of the birds also. इतने सब. तो वहां भगवान ने सब कुछ सांदीपनि मुनि से अर्थशास्त्र, राजनीति सब कुछ सीखकर, he is speaking this to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then what he does, he recommended them to perform Rajaswa sacrifice. He supported them. And after that, when he had to gamble, you don't see Yudhishthira Maharaj sending a letter. Arjuna could have sent the letter. Bhima could have sent the letter. Nobody sent. Yudhishthira Maharaj walked into the gambling den. He lost everything. Nobody remembered Krishna also there. Neither Bhishma remembered, nor Dronacharya remembered, nor Arjuna remembered. Everybody was crying, wanted to take revenge, biting their lips, biting their teeth. But nobody remembered Krishna except Draupadi. Only Draupadi remembered Krishna. But still what Krishna is doing to Arjuna? He is still offering him such a beautiful compliments. He is offering such a beautiful compliments. He also promised Draupadi. Everybody shed their tears. Krishna embraced Arjuna, not once, twice, and then again left to Dwarka. So many times he came to give pleasure to the Pandavas. Now Bhishma glorifies Krishna and Arjuna. When does he glorify? Sanjay has come back. And Bhishma is trying to convince Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan and Dushasan and Shakuni. But whatever he says, Dhritarashtra kind of agrees and he acts helpless. मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूं. So what does he say? Brahaspati and Shukracharya came to Lord Brahma. And Brahmaji is he is the creator of this universe. Even when Lord Vishnu comes, he comes through. So one time Nar and Narayan Rishi came there and they did not offer their obeisances to Brahmaji. Brahaspati and Shukracharya were shocked. He said, who are these people? यहाँ आकर तुमको प्रणाम नहीं करते. So Brahmaji glorifies them. He said, hey, they are not ordinary. They are not ordinary. They have come, and wherever there is a trouble, they have the power to destroy everything. And then Dhritarashtra, when they were discussing about battle arrangements, asking about how many days it will take for different warriors to finish the war. No? So then, altar is open? No? Okay. So then what did he say? He said, basically, what was I saying? Disconnected. How many days it will take? Dhritarashtra said, my dear, see, he knew, but he was not able to implement what he knew. He said, Krishna and Arjuna are Nar and Narayan. Therefore, if they act in their original form, before the eyelid closes, the entire Kaurava army will be destroyed. But because they are acting human, they will take some days. But still he is asking question to Sanjay, why can't they kill Krishna? Knowledge says he can finish our army within no time, but the obsession towards his sons makes him raise this question कि क्यों कर्ण ने कृष्ण के ऊपर बाण नहीं चलाया? कृष्ण को मारते तो पांडव खत्म हो जाते. Exactly like Kamsa, exactly like Hiranyakashipu. You kill Vishnu, everybody will be killed. If you kill Vishnu's devotee, Vishnu will be killed. They knew the interconnection. So Dhritarashtra is more dangerous than these demons. क्योंकि ज्ञान है, भगवान की स्तुति करता है और स्तुति करते करते वो कहता है उसको क्यों नहीं मारा, कृष्ण को तो मारना चाहिए था. Whenever Karna would go, no, he would promise the Kaurava king Duryodhan कि आज मैं अर्जुन को खत्म करूंगा, क्योंकि उसके पास शक्ति वेपन थी ना. So Dhritarashtra asked this question and Satyaki asked this question to Krishna also. That we will discuss tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
RG Media YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.